Well, hi guys. A little on the follow-up from the last video about the brackets. I took them back, and of course they wanted to know why I was returning them. I said because they don't properly fit the truck. Of course their answer was, the book says, no, let me rephrase that. The computer says it's an exact fit. I said, well, it doesn't. You see my old brackets. These came off of the truck and they don't fit it. Well, the computer says it's an exact fit. I said, well, I don't care what the computer says. I'm telling you, they don't fit. So we kind of went round and round. But they gave me my money back. And they said, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, obviously I'm not going to use these. So I thought, okay, just against my better judgment, I'll go up the street to Advanced. Ask them. They look it up. Oh yeah, we got one in stock. He said exact fit for, my truck. I said, well, we'll see. No, it says exact fit. It'll fit. Well, go get it. So he brought it out, opened it up. I couldn't see the tag on it, and I said, I guarantee you it is made in Turkey. And he looked and he said, well, how'd you know that? I said, I guarantee you the two mounting bolts are going to be wrong. Well, it says exact fit. I said, well, pull it out. They pulled it out, laid it on the counter. I laid mine up beside it. I said, does it look like it's going to work? Oh, them bolts are different. Said, yeah. Well, you just have to drill a new hole. I said, in what? The truck or this? Well, you have to drill it in the truck because, that would void our warranty. I said, henceforth the problem. I said, I either void the warranty on this part or I do structural damage to my truck in a critical area. He says, what do you mean? I said, these are mounted on kind of a curve. So if you mount, you drill another half-inch hole where it, needs to be, you've got a hole an inch long, a half-inch wide cut into the frame. And it's going to weaken it. I said, it's a ton truck. It's designed to be, this. Well, maybe you got a special truck. I said, well, if I do, I got 3 of them. Actually, 4 of them. Well, 3. But I said, I've got a 95 1-ton that's exactly identical to the one that's wore out. I've got a 93 half-ton that takes the exact same bracket as I'm holding in my hand. Your holes, these are manufactured wrong. So I didn't buy it. And why should I pay more for a part from them than I could at AutoZone? And why should I pay, that kind of money for a part I have to modify to fit my truck when I can buy it elsewhere for $32 instead of $57? That's what I'll do. But at any rate, my cousin Chris took this here pin that I took out of the radius arm, which you can see is nice and wore, and he made these. These were those 1 inch by 8 bolts. Basically, there you go. He took the, put them in the lathe and took the head off with a lathe, turned it down, the whole thing, cut these off, and then, you know, threaded this section to 3/4 inch to replace these. Well, these. So, I'm going to try to get these put in today. I won't be welding them today, but I'll get them ready. I had a friend of mine that's a really good welder. I'm going to get him to come over and put these in because of where they're at and the way they have to be welded. So I'd rather have somebody used to welding and upside down and everything else. But at any rate, guys, as it stands right now, I got the pins to fix the radius arms, and these are grade 8, and by the file test they're harder than these, so that makes me happy. I'm getting a parts list together for this truck to order the parts online. So I get a bunch of stuff in, you know, the lower radiator hose, the 2 brackets, the bushings for the twin I-beam, and whatever else I think of I need. Yeah. At any rate, that's the game plan. So we'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Might tack another one on to the end of this. We'll see. We'll see here in a bit, guys. Well, hi, guys. About 4:15, Thursday afternoon, the 8th, or the 9th. 8th, I believe. I've been fighting with these bolts here to get them out, to get them replaced, and I finally did. A lot of cutting and beating and banging and cussing. I don't know how many times I've busted my knuckles. Of course, being they're metric, you can't get, nothing fits it. Everything's a pain in the butt, so you just deal with it. This side was missing this exhaust manifold bolt. The other side, the head was so chewed up that I had to take it out with vice grips. But the only bolts I could find, you know, in metric, that size with the right pitch and all that crap, were Allen head. I really don't like to use them, but you know, sometimes you got to. You use what you can get. Like I say, both the exhaust manifold to the turbo up pipes are tight now. They were loose as a goose before. They're, you know, they're tight up here. They're tight, you know, all the way around. They're tight now, so that'll help. Yeah, I got both sides done, and of course, you know, I anti-seized them. I didn't put any anti-seize on this because of the heat it's going to get. It'll bake the anti-seize, and it's a bigger mess than it was before. But I did put anti-seize here on both sides. Put this bracket back on, anti-seized the bolts in it because they were, let's just say, steel to aluminum doesn't mix real well, and anti-seize is your best friend. So I got them put back in. I do have me little brackets, pins I made, Chris made for me. They're in. They're ready to be welded, both sides. Like I say, this side's done. This is done. And This one's on. That's, you know, been replaced. It's an Allen head. And I got the 2 new sets of turbo bolts. I'm still thinking about turning these around this way so the nuts are out, but I don't know. May go around and take a ball peen and tap the back side and front side and see if there's any movement there, if it lines up differently, you know, how that goes. Still got to get a bolt put in there that's missing. Lots of little things to do today, and hopefully when I get back to the house I'm going to make a parts order online to for the lower radiator hose, both pieces, these brackets here, or something else. I have to remember. I got a bunch of stuff written down at the house. Oh yeah, the bushings for up in there for the I-beam. Still thinking this needs to be out farther this way so it lines up with the bracket better, but I can't really line it up until I get the bracket put on it, and I don't have the bracket. So I could bolt the old one on, I guess, but I don't know. But at any rate, guys, I'll tack this on to the end of the other one. We're probably going to about call it a day because I'm tired. My fingers hurt. My hands hurt. My knuckles have been busted I don't know how many times today, and I'm ready to call it quits. So, for me and Dad, we're going to call it a day, ain't we, Dad? It's been a long one. Been long enough, I'll put it that way. So we'll see you next time, guys, and as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. The work is progressing, slow but sure. We'll see you next time, guys.